Welcome everyone to Multiply Your Income, sponsored by Permissible. My name is H. Got my brother Uzman and Ali, and we're here to talk about personal credit today. Hopefully, there's some real factual information, and hopefully y'all take note and take heed while my brother drop the jewels on y'all. Here you go, Ali.
How y'all doing out there? This question is for Osman, man. What is personal credit?
Okay, what is personal credit? Personal credit the accounts that's linked to your social security number. So when you go to a car dealership, retail store, online store, they use your personal information, name, address, phone number, etc., along with your social security number. And this is how they establish your personal credit. They use that, for example, to try to get you credit cards, retail store cards, um, accounts with banks. All the stuff is linked to your social security number. And that's why you establish what they call your personal report card or your personal credit. And that's all linked. Everything is linked to that social security number. That's what it establish your personal credit.
That's a great answer. And how do we go about getting the credit score?
As far as getting your credit score, they got various different websites that you can go to get your credit score pulled. But your credit score, you got three major reporting agencies. You have TransUnion, Experian, Equifax. These are the three big personal credit score companies that these merchants use. They don't have to use all three. Some of them might just use one. Some might use all three. But they normally have like an account set up with the big three. And what they'll do is they'll submit your personal information along with your social security number, either in a hard or soft pull. And then based on the information they get back from them, whatever credit score that fit the criteria, and this is how they determine whether you get accepted or denied for that credit.
That's great. I got another question, Osman. What's considered bad, fair, good, or excellent credit?
They got a few different scales, right? But I'm gonna just give you like I'm gonna probably do about two scales. Like bad credit, some people consider like from like 300, because like the scale go from like 300 to 850 when you're dealing with credit. 300 being the lowest, 850 being the highest. So like bad credit, they might consider that from 300 to 619. Fair credit probably considered like 620 to like 679. And you're talking good credit, some scales say 680 to 719. Great credit, some scales say 720 to 850. But going back to the good credit, some scales say 720 to 779 is good credit, and they say 780 to 850 is great credit. And when you're talking about that, these scores are determined. I mean, are used to determine how these creditors are going to treat you. You know what I'm saying? So these scores help you establish your negotiating power. That's why you should try to establish good accounts with good payment histories, because even when you go to get car insurance, you might not know, but they pull your credit privately, maybe a soft pull when you fill out that application, and they determine your rates on how to, because I might be the same driving history as you, same age as you, but I might pay a cheaper rate, and I might have the same points as you as far as driving. You got to remember that with a license as well. But I still might get a better rate than you because I have better credit. And people don't know the insurance industry use credit, to their advantage, and that's something that we as consumers really don't know.
Okay. And in determining these,
Before y'all move forward, right? I mean to cut you off. Before you move forward, a lot of people don't know what a soft pull is, and you got something called a hard pull. Now, could you elaborate on that just a bit before y'all move on?
All right, when you're talking about a soft pull and a hard pull, like if you fill out an application for something and they just ask for the last four of your social security number, that's considered like a soft pull. But when you fill out something and they ask for your whole social security number, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna do a hard pull. And when they do these pulls, like a soft pull really don't affect your credit score, but a hard pull does. It might, it might be between 10 or 5%. It depends on the credit bureau, but your score will be affected. You'll lose them points when they do like a hard pull.
That's excellent information. What's the difference between a FICO and a Vantage score?
All right, when we talking about FICO and Vantage, right? The FICO, which is like the Fair Isaac Corporation, you know what I'm saying? That's really how the FICO, and that's like it's a real old corporation that really established the foundation of putting together certain criterias to give you what they call a credit score, right? And these scores are normally combined of the three, like your TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, to get you to use these, give you a combined FICO score, right? FICO is used by 90% of the top lenders, and normally requires about 6 months worth of data. It's the 3-digit number. Your score might be like 550, 650, 750. That's a 3-digit number. But this model is used mostly on mortgages, student loans, and auto loans. So FICO, like I said, they got 90% of the market when you're talking about, who deals with the FICO score. When we move over a little bit to the Vantage score, the Vantage score was created by the three credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. So they got together and say, FICO got a score, we should have a score. So they got together and created their own algorithm, private algorithm, and they produced what they call a FICO score. A Vantage score, and they got a company that they got that is separate from them, who deals with the Vantage score, but they're the ones really behind it. So FICO is not the only person inside the game now. You have the Vantage too, but we know FICO is the most respected, the strongest one right now with 90% of the market. Now, when we talk about FICO score, I'm gonna go a little bit more into that too, because you got like more than one FICO model. So like you got, I think FICO 10 is coming out, which is gonna be kind of tough on the people, because they're gonna look at more information and place more weight on certain other categories. We will bring another show on that. But like say the FICO 6 is mostly used by like the auto lenders. Auto lenders use FICO 6. A lot of credit card companies would use what they call like a FICO 7. And they have different algorithms in each one of these things, looking at different things, length of history. You might be looking at have you had how well you paid your account in the past 6 months. All these things are determined by that. But you got like most of the mortgage lenders that use what they call like the FICO 3, and this is a tough algorithm they use, because when you talk about buying a home, which is normally the biggest purchase of your life, these people go ahead and they underwrite as they're they're gonna check out a whole lot of information on you with this FICO 3, and to figure out whether or not that you come and get that new home you're trying to get in. So definitely keep your credit tight as much as you can. So what I'm gonna do now, right, is I'm gonna tell the people the categories and how to determine the makeup of your credit score, right? So to get the makeup of your credit score, you have 5 categories that they got composed together. So you're talking 35% is what they call payment history. So that's how well you've been paying your accounts over a length of time, whether it be 1 month, 2 years, how long you had that account is going to give you your payment history, how well you pay it. So keep in mind with this 35%, if you have any lates or you have any delinquent accounts, that's part of that payment history. So now that 35% that could have been just good can be split in half and be 17% good, 17% bad. So now instead of having 100%, when talking about total credit, you're shooting at around 83%, because that 17% is going to drop you down when you have a late payment. Let me say one more thing about a late payment. A lot of people don't notice. One late payment takes away 3 good payments. That's the effect of a late payment can have on your score. One late payment can take away 3 good payments. So make sure you try to put your accounts on like on auto pay if you're dealing with a bank. If you ain't dealing with a bank, you know, we all got these new devices. Try to set reminders on these new devices that'll keep us in rhythm so that we don't have these late payments or delinquent scores. And we know we're going through a pandemic right now. So if you know that your finances is tight and you're dealing with these accounts you got open, you can call these folks now and let them know. Say, hey, can I change my payment up? Instead of $100, can I switch it to $25 due to hardship right now and what's going on? They're aware of this and they already passed law behind this type of thing, but you have to ask for this stuff. So make sure, like if you know, instead of being delinquent, reach out to the company, get them to agree to it. Everything you want to get them to agree to, try to get it in writing, you know, so that way there's an agreement between you and that company, and you can adjust your payment until you get back on your feet. And you know, and the pandemic, you know, starts the weekend, and when the economy build up a little bit for yourself. Now I'm gonna get back to the category of the 5. I just told y'all about payment history and how important that is. Now you talk about 30% is amount owed. That's the amount owed. So I'll just give you an example. Like, say you might have a $1,000 account, and you use $500 of that. So your amount owed is 500, and you know, and you use that to determine with that. You know, if you use like 500 or 1,000, we know your debt to income rate is roughly at 50%. So when we talking debt to income, that's like the total amount of credit you got for each account. Some people say the total of all accounts, but I know some algorithms use each account. So what you want to be using, if you want to get like an 800 score, everybody gonna tell you to be like around 30%, but you should be around like 7-8%, 7-8% of your credit. And there's different ways you can leverage that. So yeah, if you know you ain't applying for nothing in the next 3 months, you might can take your credit to 40, 50%, the leverage and do certain things you need to do. But when you want to make a major splash or try to apply for something, you want to make sure you cut back down at least 30%. But if you want to do it best, cut down to 8%, and then go ahead and apply for these accounts. And that's what amounts owed. So I don't want to do a payment history and amounts owed. So what I'm gonna go to another 10% category. This is called new credit. New credit is something that you just recently applied for. You just recently applied for a jewelry card, or you just recently applied for a store card. This will go under like new credit. You did within the past 30 days, maybe you know, past couple of months category, that'll be fall under what they call new credit, and that make up like 10% of your credit history. And then we're gonna move on to what make up 15% of your credit history. And this is called your length of credit history. So I'm gonna give you an example with that. You might have one account that's 1 month old, and you have another account that's 12 months old. So we had just those 2 accounts, and we wanted to average them out. You know, that's 13 months. We cut that in half. That's 6.5. So your length of credit history will be 6.5 months. So keep in mind that's how they do the length of credit history. But there's ways that you can manipulate that a little bit, but that's another conversation. We'll get on that at another time we record. So and then we're gonna go to the last category.
Don't give them too much.
Yeah, I can't give them too much, ladies. You know what I'm saying? But they can always, you know, if you want to learn more, you know, we'll be dropping more videos. But if you want to get deep inside this game, you can always come to Permissible. You know, call us up at Permissible and get more information. You can go to permissiblellc.com. You know, or you can dial the 267-225-0602, and we're gonna get with you. We're gonna get you tight. But let me go to that last the last thing, 10% credit mix. Credit, when you talk about credit mix, it's basically like you might have an installment loan. You know what I'm saying? Which is like if you buy like a car, that's like an installment loan because you're paying you paying a set amount each month. So your car payment might be $325 a month. You know, so that's like an installment loan. Then you got credit card payments, and you know that's going to depend on how much of the money you use off your card. So you know, if you got like a $1,000 limit, and you're only using $20, so you know your payment probably be like $2 or something like that. Then you have, you know, also you got things like student loans, mortgages, all that's make up part of your credit mix, and all that's balance you out as well. So just to give you a quick recap, the 5 categories, you know, you have the payment history, 35%, 30% is amounts owed, 10% is new credit, 15% is the length of credit history, and 10% is your credit mix. All that goes together in one pot and determining your score, whether it pop up to be 700 or whether it pop up to be like, you know, 500. Hopefully on the 700 end. You know, so that's basically everything in a nutshell on personal credit. Of course, you know, there's always more information out on that, but we just want to give you like some examples and give you like an overview of the personal credit category. So I see the brothers ain't got no more questions.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that'll wrap everything up. Like you said, we here, Permissible LLC. We dropping, you know, pretty much heat on how to multiply your income in many ways, various avenues. Right now, we're just touching on, you know, personal credit, but we're gonna be touching business credit. We're gonna be talking about different industries. You know what I mean, like where you can multiply your income at. That's the foundation of, you know, this whole show is multiplying your income. Anything else, Ali?
Nothing else, bro. Just stay tuned for the multiply income. We positive brothers just reaching out to try to give the people some good information. Just stay tuned. That's all I gotta say.
Well, we're gonna close out. We're trying to bring the facts, you know, and we're gonna try to get the best data we can. And if there's any, you know, any topics that people want to know about, just give us a hit or send us an email. Contact us at permissiblellc.com, and we'll try to answer the questions. Do a video on us on the topic that you ask us about, and try to get the best information we can.
Yeah, leave your comments. That's how we going to determine, you know, what to touch on in the future. You know, can answer your questions, like you said, to the best of our knowledge.
Right, and you can catch us on, you know, YouTube, Instagram page, Facebook. You know, we're gonna be spreading out a little bit. We're gonna live stream sometime. So we'll see you guys.
Peace.